feel like that, and I can't control the way your wife treats you. I can't control the fact that you're deep in debt and your mother is sick and your children don't like you. I can't control all of those things in your life that are spilling over into my experience. And so I feel bad because you feel bad. And we're saying to you, the reason that you feel bad is because you're letting that condition run your life, a condition over which you have no control. So if you could stand back and say, wait a minute, I'm not feeling bad because you don't like me. I'm feeling bad because I don't like you not liking me. I'm feeling bad because I care more about what you think than about closing my gap. Somehow I've trained myself to care about your response to me instead of my response to me. Now, what would my inner being think about you? Well, my inner being wants your life to go better. And my inner being understands that you're having a bad day. And my inner being knows that in the bad day that you've been living, friend, that's making me unhappy, in the bad day that you've been living, you've put a whole bunch of stuff in your vibrational escrow, and my inner being and your inner being are over there with those things. I think I'll go over there too. I think I will imagine your world getting better. I think I will understand that you're just flailing about because you're out there on that raw and ragged edge. If you saw someone in the street bleeding, we know you'd help them. But when you see someone flailing about in their disconnection from their source, and the symptom of their disconnection is verbal abuse to you, you don't feel so much like helping them, do you? You feel more like kicking them or getting rid of them or hoping for the worst for them. But you can't hope for the worst for someone without separating yourself from who you are. You see how it works? You are a lover. You must love. The other head of the two-headed monster loves them. So when you say, inner being, I want to know what you think, you're going to have some serious conversations. You love them. Why? You love them, but did you see? Do you see how they treat me? Do you see how they treat their wives? Do you see what they're doing? And the source within you would say, no, we see not that. We see not that. We do not, we turn the other cheek. We do not give our attention to those aspects. We acknowledge that they exist, and out of that contrast is born the true person, the true becoming person. But we always give our undivided attention to the loving, progressive, evolving, amended being that everyone is becoming. And your dear heart is what your inner being would say to you in helping you to understand. You're stuck in the contrast. You see, you wanted the contrast to help you to expand, but you never intended to beat the drum of what is not wanted in order to defend or justify the having of what is wanted. Did you hear that? That's what so many people do. We see, even with Esther, she'll get on something that bothers her. And she will say, oh, Abraham, you got to give me this one. You know I'm right. You know I'm right. You saw what happened. You know I'm right. But we never give it to her. We never, ever, ever give it to her. Esther, if Esther wants to play with us, Esther has to come to where we are. We will never go to that dark place to play with her. The source within you never goes there. You've got no choice if you are to feel good other than to go to where the good is. That's why guidance is guidance, you see. If your guidance system in your vehicle, if you say, you program in where you want to go, Esther programs in the destination, and if the guidance system says, you're already there, Esther would say, no, I'm not. I'm not a guidance. Yeah, you're already there. We think this is good enough. You don't want that kind of guidance. You want the guidance to show you the way to where you want to be. And it's always a trail of something that feels better and better and better and better and better and better and better. Always feels better.
What do you do when you're surrounded by, with so many people around you and everyone has such a strong opinion about things? And
step back from it a little bit. The further back you step, the better they all look. Esther's found that out about the camera.
Okay.
Get it back, get it back, get it back, she said. Back off, back off, back off. The further back you go, the better
it
you look.
looks. Perfect. Yeah.
The better whatever, and the closer in you get, the more you can find those things, those flaws, you see, and those excuses to separate yourself. So when you say, what happens when you're surrounded by a bunch of stuff you don't want? We say, you've been looking quite a bit at what you don't want and beating the drum of what you don't want and activating what you don't want. So law of attraction is just bringing you more and more of it. It's always the way that it is. So when you know what you don't want, you always know what you do want.